Slipstream by Simon Bovey. Part 1. Into the Wolf's Lair.
Teeth, that sounded close.
Aldrich, maybe Holborn. Is this the report on last night's raid?
Yes, sorry, Major Barton. As you can see, the top sheet concerns the attack on the Lair oil plant. They approached from...
Yes. 153 aircraft lost. Has this been verified?
MI 1, 3 and 4, yes. The bomber commander being tight-lipped.
I'm not surprised. My God, that's our worst ever losses. Over 1,000 men on one raid. And at night.
Sir, that doodlebug is getting very close.
What's this? 40 eyewitnesses claim the losses were attributable to a shimmering silver aircraft that flew at incredible speed. They were attacked near Nordhausen. That's interesting.
Sir, that really sounded as if it's coming down.
Strand, a mile at least. What about Valkyrie intercepts? Teasel? Teasel, get off the floor, man!
Sorry, yes, sir, there's been a lot of Enigma signals traffic. We haven't deciphered it all yet.
Come on.
Where are we going?
We've got a German to talk to, remember? All right, Sergeant, that'll do.
Yes, sir.
What did he say?
He's had enough. You'll kill him.
That's his choice. Now, listen to me. I have a dossier on you, an inch thick, so I know you understand English. There's no use pretending you don't know what's been attacking those bombers. Cooperate with the inevitable, and the pain will stop. Nope. Very well, Sergeant.
Sir.
Wait. Luftschraubenstrahl.
What? Say again? Come on. Hey. He's passed out again. Bring him round. What does Luftschraubenstrahl mean?
Roughly that would translate as slipstream.
Then we've got it.
And got what?
The thorn in the RAF side. How is he?
I'm sorry, sir. He's dead.
No, tell Monty to have it sent here. There's no need for Bradley to be told. And go on to MI2. What the devil?
I told you a week ago it was Brandis Airfield.
I'll call you back.
I just had confirmation from that POW. Slipstream. That's the code name for what we've been looking for, and...
I would appreciate it if you knock before coming into my office.
The Luftwaffe cleared the skies of night fighters 10 minutes before the attack on our bomber force. Bletchley picked up this new Valkyrie code, and Slipstream was mentioned several times.
Major, sit down. Look, I understand feelings are running high over this, but you're not actually supposed to kill prisoners of war. MI-19 are furious.
Serves them right for not doing their job properly. When he came in, we had to remove 2 cyanide capsules from his teeth. He knew the game.
And what did he tell us?
The final piece of the jigsaw.
Brandis?
Yes, it makes perfect sense. It's where they test all the new types. It's near the Mittelwerk, where there's boffins, jigs and workforce, and by all accounts, this Slipstream aircraft is something very, very special.
And you believe it's responsible for the losses?
I know it is.
You're alone. Bomber Command puts it down to Messerschmitt 262s or 163s.
Bomber Command are a bunch of bus drivers.
Your candid response is, as always, an inspiration.
We've lost near on 300 bombers. Intelligence informs me the Americans have lost nearer 600, but they're not telling. Whatever this is, Brigadier, it's something new, and something that could turn the tide of the war back in the Nazis' favour. We don't control the skies. We don't control the battlefields. We have to act.
Have you seen this?
Operation Paperclip?
Yes, our American friends do go for snappy names.
What is it?
It's a mandate to abduct and seize any German scientists and technology for transportation to the United States. It's contrary to the Yalta Agreement, of course.
But inspired. What are we doing? Oh, no, let me guess. Nothing.
You're not the only one concerned about this, I assure you.
Then let me out there.
That's quite impossible. We are, though, trying to get an agreement that will compel them to share anything they find.
We don't have time to chat. We have to put our own team in the field, seize this technology, prevent our bomber losses, maybe even control the balance of power after the war. And right now, we have the advantage. We know where to look.
Brandis is right in the middle of disputed territory between the Russians and Americans. If we go charging in, it could get very messy indeed. No, we have to trust our negotiators and keep this battle in perspective.
For God's sake, you can't fight a battle like this behind a desk in Whitehall. You've got to get out in the field, find the enemy, and blow his bloody head off. No matter what colour his uniform is.
What you're proposing would have to be a purely freelance mission. Something neither Winston nor the War Cabinet could publicly countenance.
Of course not. It would have to be wholly deniable.
Perhaps a section of commandos, one or two specialists?
A pilot, of course.
Quite. But you understand, Major, I don't want you thinking of doing anything like that. We, as you said, are doing nothing. Is that clear?
Crystal.
Very well. Then carry on.
Yes, sir. Brigadier, sir.
Morrison, Erskine here, MI-10. I thought you'd like to know I've set the dog on the scent. If I know Barton, he'll already be putting a team in place.
Move, move! Come on over that wall! Arses and elbows! Keep your heads down, that's live ammunition!
Dear God, Lieutenant, are we recruiting straight out of France now?
I think it's just us that got old. But better old than dead, eh?
I thought you were dead.
Yeah, so did I for a while. Then I realised I was just in Benghazi. But you know commandos, sir. We never die, just go to hell and regroup.
I'm glad you got out.
And you, Bill. Major, eh? What happened to Colonel Barton?
Just some ruddy politics, you know how it is.
I do, sir. You're not still...
No, I'm not in the air service anymore.
That's a relief. Too cavalier by half for my liking. So, when do we leave?
You don't know where we're going yet.
Well, let me see. It's hopeless odds, virtually a suicide mission. And if we don't get killed doing it, it'll mean either a court-martial or a very large gong.
But by God, it'll be exciting, Jack.
My life's been too quiet lately.
Good man. I need 7 men, just a section, but I need hard bastards. What are these sprogs like?
I handpicked them myself for going into Berlin. They all seen action on D-Day. Gold, sword and coal.
Good. Choose the best of them.
So, where are we going?
Into hell, Jack. Where do you think?
Temperature's now at 842.
Shut it down!
It'll be all right.
I'm reading pressure fluctuations.
Climbing to 932. We'll soon have it at cruising temperature.
The air supply manifold will fail under these stresses.
We have to see. And there, over 1,000 Fahrenheit. The trouble with you, Kate, is... Oh, Lord.
I'm going for a cigarette. When you decide what my trouble is, be sure to let me know.
Miss Ritchie?
Yes?
My name's Barton. Major Barton.
I'm sorry, this is a restricted area. Army personnel aren't allowed back here.
I assure you I have the highest possible level of clearance.
Well, these are my engines, and I've never seen you, so if you don't mind.
Miss Ritchie, I'm here because of your brother.
When?
Last night. He was part of a very large raid, and I'm afraid he's posted among the missing.
Which is just another way of saying Jamie's dead.
No. It's saying we don't know. It's very likely he's a POW. With the war going the way it is, he could be back before you know it.
Yes, of course. Thank you. But I don't understand. You're Army, not RAF. How do you know this?
I'm not, strictly speaking, in the Army. And I'm sorry to ask you at this time, but I need your help.
Oh, how?
This is, of course, strictly confidential. But your brother's plane was one of 153 down last night.
What?
50% of the raid was lost.
My God.
Obviously, I don't need to explain to you that losing that many planes in one night is Well, it's extraordinary, but Miss Ritchie, to lose them to one aircraft is supernatural.
One aircraft? Well, no, that's not possible.
I assure you, all reports confirm it. Silver and exceptionally fast. In fact, many of the bombers crashed or collided because they were caught in its slipstream. Which is ironic, because we believe that's what the Nazis have called this thing.
Slipstream? Was it a jet of some kind? A rocket?
I've no idea, but it seems you have. All I know is that one tail gunner compared its flypast to 3 times the speed of a Messerschmitt 109.
No. That means the slipstream would be in the region of 1,000 miles an hour. It can't be.
It rather seems it is.
Well, I did think the 163 Comet is the Luftwaffe's fastest at just over 500. The Americans have had quite a bit of experience with them, but they've largely been ineffective.
Not capable of downing over 150 aircraft in a night.
No. So, how can I help?
Pack, Miss Ritchie. We're going to London.
Come on, keep walking. Move along, roll.
Look at those stars. Incredible. You can't see them in the camp because of the lights. There, that's Orion.
I thought it was Flu Capitan, roll, not Professor.
You don't need to be a professor, my father told me. Over there's Taurus, and that's Aries. Oh, so bright out there. It's worth picking potatoes all day to see this.
Hey, don't knock spuds, mate. From what I hear, your countrymen in Berlin will be glad of them.
And that may be true, but then we don't hear much in prison.
Well, if the Berliners want them, they can come and pick them. I have more English mud under my nails than Hitler ever got his hands on.
That's funny.
The reiteration, Hunter. War's not over. Hitler will counterattack, you'll see. Oh, yes, with small boys and old men. A glorious bloodbath. Shut your mouth!
Hey, get off him! Get off him! Get off him! Get up, Roll. You all right?
Yeah.
Then run.
What?
Run! Get away from here.
Why? Why would I run?
Go east, get a boat.
You'll shoot me in the back. I'm not running.
Listen! You've got friends in high places, mate. Now go on, run! Scarper!
This way! He went this way!
There you come, lad!
Flu Capitan Jürgen Rell, yes?
Yes, is this a joke?
Do you see me laughing?
Clark, go get a lorry.
Sir!
Lorry? What is this all about?
You'll have to see the boss about that, Jerry. But I don't think your war's over yet.
Good morning, Flu Capitan. We treating you all right?
I would like to change out of my wet clothes.
I'll see what I can do. You've been with us for 6 months, I see. Shot down over France last October, flying a 262. Good plane?
Aircraft.
I'm sorry?
It was an aircraft. A wing is a plane. What the wings are attached to is an aircraft.
Oh, I see. 262 is a jet, isn't it? Good aircraft? Fast?
Evidently not fast enough, or I wouldn't be sitting here.
You've flown a lot of types. Some groundbreaking designs. Jets must be the most thrilling, though, I imagine. Outrunning everything else in the sky, leaving them in your... Oh, what's the word? Slipstream.
Why am I here?
Oh, just a chat. You're pretty top draw. Battle of Britain expert, and then Barbarossa, North Africa, Knight's Cross with Oakleys, test pilot at Oberammergau. Very, very impressive.
You didn't get me out of that POW camp for just another interrogation about my flying experience.
Well, it's your test pilot experience that really interests me.
I have nothing to add to what I've said before.
Which wasn't an awful
The
lot.
Geneva Convention states that I only have to give you my name,
Rank and serial number, yes. Well, you're not in Geneva now, Flu Capitan. This war will very soon be over, you know.
Nothing's lost until it's won.
Really? Is there another vengeance weapon up Hitler's sleeve we haven't seen yet? A cunning plan, perhaps? Because if there isn't, I rather think he isn't going to last the spring.
Look, who are you, what do you want, and why the hell should I care?
My name is Barton, Major Barton. I'm from an arm of the forces you've never heard of, nor will you, and I need a pilot.
You have the largest air force in Europe. I'm sure you'll find one.
But you see, old boy, I need a German pilot. Someone who knows the lingo and who's flown every Luftwaffe kite going. In other words, you.
Sorry, you'll have to excuse me.
Oh, where do you think you're going?
I have potatoes to harvest.
Flug Capitan, sit down. I'm sorry if I led you to believe there was an element of choice.
Every man has a choice.
Not in this room. The only choice you have is to look forward or back. But I think you know that.
I know. These are Germany's last days, Major. You'd have to be blind or mad not to see that, but it's still my country, my people, and I will not hasten their end.
Listen, Capitan, there's a future coming where countries might not be as important as they are now. Alliances will be what matter, and our places within them. Enemies will be friends, and friends enemies.
Sounds complicated.
Let me simplify it for you.
No. I trust my own moral compass.
The trouble with a moral compass is it can show you the right way to go, but it can't make you go. Listen, I know you're no Nazi. In fact, you have more reason to hate them than I do. Your mother was English, yes?
You have the file on me.
And for years your family was scrutinized and persecuted right up until she died.
And equally, I have much to hate the British for.
Yes, but as I understand it, the incident that caused the death of your wife and child was an accident.
Oh. Well, that makes it all so much more bearable.
The target was a marshalling yard, but bad weather, navigation error, it was just bad luck.
Oh, and there was I thinking their deaths were meaningless.
Most deaths are meaningless. It's having a life of significance we should be concerned with. And you are poised. But I don't think you appreciate the position you're in. Do you even know where you are?
Nowhere good.
This is what has become known as the London Cage. The Geneva Convention applies here rather more flexibly than it does elsewhere.
Oh. I see now. Well, every nation has its SS.
I like to think we're a bit more subtle. Every man has a weakness, a leverage point.
And mine is?
Your father. As I see it, he's the only thing keeping you alive right now. Everything else has gone. Am I right?
Even you, Major, with your cage and your files, cannot kill a man who is deep behind German lines.
Well, you misunderstand me. I'm not threatening him. I don't have to. The war has moved on apace since you last heard the news. He lives in Potsdam, yes?
What of it?
Well, the massed ranks of the First Ukrainian Front are currently less than 100 miles from him. We don't anticipate resistance lasting much longer than, well, a month.
My God. I knew the war was going badly, but the Russians are not a good enemy to have.
I can get him out.
Ah. Which is where every man has a choice comes in.
Forward or back?
What will you want me to fly?
Truth. I have no idea.
I'm intrigued.
So, do we have an alliance?
If you'd have told me 5 years ago that I was destined to help the enemy, I would have shot myself.
Who is the enemy? These days it's getting hard to tell.
Aren't you?
No, Rao. I'm the best friend you've got.
Excuse me, Major.
One moment, Captain.
I thought you'd want to see this right away.
Bomber Command reports losses of 64 aircraft during raid on Benzel plant at Recklinghausen. This can't go on.
Read the bottom of the page.
Intelligence has also received information regarding USAF daylight attacks that put their losses at 241. Between 3 raids, the oil refinery at Lutskendorf and on the city of Leipzig. Well, at least it's not just us.
There's this too. A tail gunner of a B-29 took a photograph with his personal camera.
What the hell is that? Shame this picture isn't sharper.
We're lucky to have it. I understand it cost the life of one of our agents to get it out.
Do the Yanks know we have it?
They will surmise as such, I imagine.
Then we'd better get cracking.
Is Roll in?
Yes, get him a shaving kit and a change of clothes. Not a uniform, something non-denominational.
Right. Oh, and sir, about his father. How are we actually going to get him out of Germany?
We're not.
But I thought you said...
I lied, Teasel.
Quartermaster Sergeant Sedge, brah!
Lieutenant Dunder says I live and breathe. I heard you'd copped a packet.
Yeah, so people tell me. Sergeant, I need to equip a section.
Oh, got the usual bumfling in triplicate. Days and climate.
Now I can't divulge. Off the radar. And just to oil the wheels, you understand, here's a box of players' weights.
Oh, hush, quite understand. Say no more. Well, let's see. You'll be wanting Thompsons, because they cut through a line of Bosch like a Wilkinson's.
Yeah.
Bren, yes, suppression for the use of.
And what line of sidearm?
Got some Buxy Brownings.
2 cases of scotch in the truck, Sergeant. Did I mention that?
Oh. Haha. In that case, Lieutenant, I'd recommend a Colt. A far superior weapon in a mad minute. Now, ammunition and ancillaries.
745 and 4 of 303. Dozen mils per man. HE, snout tin, and 10 switch number 3s.
Blimey, you defending Hitler's bunker or something? When's jump off?
Today?
God, still as mad as a box of frogs, eh?
Yep.
All right, Lieutenant. You better get some men to help you carry this lot out in. Oh, and don't forget the scotch, will you?
All right, gentlemen. No, as you were. My apologies for leaving the briefing until 0 hour, but secrecy is paramount. Now, I'm sure you've all been speculating on where we're going and why. Well, you're all wrong. I'd like to introduce Miss Ritchie here, who will start by explaining the why.
Yes. Hello. Well, you're looking for an aircraft known as the V4. It's also codenamed Slipstream.
And, of course, any personnel involved with this technology.
Well, snatch raid, then?
Exactly. Please go on.
Well, we have very few details at present, but we believe it is silver in colour, with a span of roughly 53 feet. And, well, it's easier if I show you. Major, may I put up the picture?
Of course.
Right.
Bloody funny looking thing.
It makes it easier to find.
I hope so. As you can see, it appears to be circular, but I think that's just the angle. A disc would be too unstable to fly at speed. And, well, that's really all I have to say. Are there any questions?
Where are we going to get this thing?
Suspense too much for you, Lieutenant. This is our destination. The Harz Mountains, smack bang in the middle of Germany. Our drop zone will be here, near Brandis Airfield.
How the hell do we get it out of there?
There's a pilot coming with us. He's good, but his security clearance is non-existent, so be careful what you say in front of him.
And this aircraft is at Brandis, sir.
Major, if I may. Intelligence is vague, I'm afraid, but it's definitely been operating from this area. Brandis is the largest airfield in the Harz region, and we know they use it to test new types, so we feel it's the most likely.
We'll look for it there first anyway. If it isn't, we'll proceed 15 miles south to an installation called the Mittelwerk, here. This is a factory complex, literally inside the Kohnstein Mountain, and the production centre for both the V1 and the V2, and I believe the V4. All their boffins are here, and a workforce of 2,000 to 5,000 in labour camps.
How far behind enemy lines will we be?
Roughly 60 miles from the Yanks and 75 from the Russians, though of course both fronts are highly mobile.
Can't we just wait until the Yanks get there?
No, gentlemen, no. Victory in Europe is a foregone conclusion, so our war aims have now changed. Everyone wants a taste of the spoils, and they want the choicest bits for themselves, all for themselves. I cannot emphasize how important it is that we get this fighter before the Americans and the Russians move into this area. It could well be the most important mission of the war. All other considerations the Secretary. Do I make myself clear?
You saying we might have to trade blows with the Ruskies? Or for that matter, the Yanks?
Is the enemy of my enemy my friend or my enemy? Difficult, I know, but we didn't pull the trigger on this one. We just have to get there before the hammer falls.
It's going to be bandit country, no mistake. Waffen SS, Volkstrom Werewolf Brigade, you can count on that.
The German people's appetite for resistance is overrated.
Well, we'll soon find out, sir.
Yes, we will.
Is there an extraction plan?
The pilot flies out the Slipstream. We and any boffins we persuade to join us will drive hard and fast northwest to meet up with the boys of 3 Corps here. Any questions? No? Operationally, I believe in simplicity. Have a good plan, execute it aggressively, do it today. So, gentlemen, let's go.
Major, I had no idea this was such a dangerous mission. Are you sure I gave your men all the information they needed?
They're soldiers, Miss Ritchie. In my experience, the barest minimum gen to do the job is more than enough.
Well, if there are any other sightings, is there a way I can contact you?
Yes, you'll be right next to me.
I don't understand. I'm not coming with you.
I'm sorry, Miss Ritchie, but you know too much. This operation is extremely clandestine, and I can't risk you jeopardizing it by letting something slip. And more importantly, when we find it, we'll need your expertise.
No, Major. No, absolutely not. I'm not
afraid
going.
that's an order. Lieutenant!
Sir!
Could you help Miss Ritchie find her seat?
What?
This way, miss.
Hey, excuse me. Will you take your hands off me?
My understanding.
Excuse me.
You realise this is a court-martial if we balls it up.
Be a court-martial, whatever happens, I'm getting used to them. Oh, keep an eye on Roll. If he gets twitchy, shoot him.
Don't we need him?
Everyone's expendable, Teasel.
Oh!
You sit there, miss.
No, you nearly broke my arm.
I'm sorry, miss. I'll bring you some battle dress to change into once we're off.
You need to buckle in.
I'm not staying.
They seem to think you are.
This is insane. Do you know where we're going?
I assume Germany. Hitch a ride with this bomber stream, then jump. As the drop, well, they don't tell me very much.
God, why are you shackled?
Maybe they're afraid I'll say I'm not going as well.
Who are you?
I'm a pilot.
Oh, yes, of course, but that accent, are you Polish?
No. Flugkapitän Jürgen Rahl of Jagdgeschwader 7, at your service.
German.
All right, Lieutenant, tell the pilot we're ready.
Major, I demand you let me off this plane.
Miss Ritchie, you want to find the aircraft responsible for shooting down your brother, don't you?
Of course I do.
An aircraft that may well be the most advanced ever constructed, that's of no interest to you?
No, I wouldn't say that.
And then there is, of course, the invaluable service you're doing your king and country.
Well, I do realise that, of course, but...
It seems there are a number of very compelling reasons for you to stay. Wouldn't you agree?
I would have appreciated being asked.
You wouldn't have agreed, and I'd rather ask for your forgiveness later than wait for permission. Now sit down.
Kidnap, you realise that? And what kind of a mission is it that has a German coming with it?
He's the best.
So I won't be much good if I lose the feeling in my legs. As the door is shut, may I be released from these irons?
All in good time, Capitan.
Can you at least tell me where we're going?
Brandis Airfield.
Oh, they have a very good officer's mess, as I remember.
It won't be a social visit.
No, I think I can rely on that.
Major, I assume we have some kind of support. Air cover, that sort of thing.
We're on our own, Miss Ritchie. No one knows we're going, and no one knows where we're going. And if it goes well, no one will ever be any the wiser. Now, the flight takes about 3 hours. I suggest you try and get some rest. It may be your last opportunity for a while.
Barton, there can only be one outcome. You realize that, don't you?
What does that mean? Major, what does he mean?
He means, Miss Ritchie, we're going into the Wolf's Lair.
In Part 1 of Slipstream by Simon Bovey, Major Barton was played by Tim McMullan, Jürgen, Rory Kinnear, Kate, Joannah Tincey, Teasel, Sam Pamphilon, Dundas, Ben Crow, and Brigadier Erskine, Peter Marinko. Other parts were played by Alex Lanny-Peckin, Simon Treves, Lloyd Thomas, and Simon Bovey. The director is Mark Beebe.